Hello everyone, good morning. Dear authors and invited guests, welcome to the technical session 5E. Myself Prashi and this session would be moderated by me. On behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation and GR Scholastic LLP, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the 9th International Conference on Smart Trends in Computing and Communications, SMARTCOM 2025, Pune, India. The physical event was held yesterday, organized in a hybrid mode in Pune, India, and virtual event is being held through Zoom today and tomorrow. It is 30th and 31st of January 2025. I hope you will enjoy the knowledgeable and interactive sessions through the day. In this session, we have 10 presentations. Each presenter will be given 8 minutes for the presentation and 2 minutes for questions and answers. Please note that on the 7th minute, I will raise a gentle reminder. There is another request to all the participants that you will all have to stay connected to us till the closing remarks. If you have any queries or updates, then you can write it to me in the chat box. Just before we start the session, I would like to introduce to you all our session chair, Dr. Keith J. Modi. Sir is currently working as professor and head at CE and IT department, IQAC coordinator at Sankalchan Patel College of Engineering and dean at Faculty of Computer Science, Sankalchan Patel University. He has more than 20 years of teaching experience. He has published more than 25 research papers in his reputed international conferences referred journals. His expertise is in thematic web, cloud computing, distributed computing, web services, Internet of Things, service computing, web service compositions, fog computing. Welcome to the session, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much for this giving me the chance and inviting and for this nice introduction. Yeah, let's proceed.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind remarks. Now I would like to start with the papers. Our first presenter, I would like to call upon our first presenter here. That is Shailesh Gahane. Sir is going to be presenting on the paper titled Artificial Intelligence as a Game Changer in Healthcare Delivery and Management. So if you're available over here, I request you to kindly start with your presentation. Sir Shailesh Gahane.
Madam,
Yes,
if
sir.
presenter not available, I can present my paper 516.
Oh, 1 second. I'll just Dr. Keith J. Modi, our session chair, I'll just ask him. Sir, can we take sir's presentation first?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, please.
For sure, sir. Thank you so much. As we don't have Mr. Gahani present right now, we will take the presenter, Mr. M. Suresh. Sir is going to be presenting on the title, Smart Entrepreneurship, a bibliometric analysis on the research trend in entrepreneurship in computer science. Sir, you can go ahead with the presentation.
Yeah, good morning, professors and research scholars and guest members. Warm welcome all. So, madam, my screen is visible?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you. So, thank you for giving opportunity to me to present this conference. So, I'm Dr. Suresh, my scholar, Ms. Alka TA, and another previous scholar, Aswati Srinivasan. So she completed her PhD, and then Alka is currently doing her PhD and the guide of both of them. So today we took this topic is here. It is smart entrepreneurship, bibliometric analysis and research trends in entrepreneurship in computer science. Okay, so here the entrepreneurship. So it's continuously the startups and entrepreneurships are the backbone of in India for in the future economy. So continuously we encouraging The particularly for the software related or IT related, computer science related startups are continuously booming because lot of opportunities and we can fill the gap. So the big companies, MNC companies works are small and decomposed into small startups, and the startups are the supplier for this big MNCs, and even that multinational companies in abroad also they're providing the technical services better way. So that's why the growing opportunities are more. Not only India, this is cross-sectional for in these countries. So growing opportunity is very high in this AI-based and computer science-based startups. So here we are focusing more on bibliometric analysis, where the focus and what kind of startups they're booming, and where they're stressing their means the areas, and then what are the future possible opportunities for the startups. So where is the research gap? So these all we analyzed in this research paper. So the here, so the lot of startups are the suppliers for the uh, MNCs. So like IoT, Internet of Things, it's one area, and we are using, they are using IA and machine learning. That's another key areas for this startups. So then cloud computing and edge computing also, that is another booming area. It's going on here in this here. Then another area is social computing. So why this research? So the research is very important for the even the researchers' perspectives also. If they know the research gap, so where they need to focus, so then they can focus on their research. So that's why the so the research gap is very important. So the research gap, we identified this now the growing opportunity of AI based generative AI based startups, or chances are more, and as well as also some cloud computing and networking opportunities, startups are more. So the research questions: what are the trend topics in the entrepreneurship connected with computer science, and which are the co-authored countries belonging to the different clusters on the entrepreneurship in computer science domain? How is the thematic map in entrepreneurship, and what are the words falling under the 4 themes in the map? So this is a methodology we used here. So SPAR 4 SLR methodology we used. We took for in the Scopus database. So 5530 papers we are analyzed it. There it is, we selected, focused on 177 papers in our article in press. So we focused on this here in this analysis. And the evaluate we are using for the Worksweaver and R programming for this thematic analysis. So keyword basis searching for we gave this theme, and arranging in the ascending orders. These are documents, number of documents, and then the details of these keywords and this single author documents and co-author documents, international co-authorship. So these details are given here. So further more details are we captured in this our full paper. So trend topic. So the trend topic is here. It is a continuous innovation and entrepreneurship, digital innovations, computer simulations, BP neural network. These are the topic modeling, the keywords we got it. We found from this dimensions, different dimensions. So these all are major keywords. So innovation is a catalyst for this most of the startups. The co-authorship analysis happened here, so it's not proper visible, but in the paper it is clearly visible. The co-authors from the different areas and as well as in the different countries. So thematic map here. So big data clusters and entrepreneurship with innovations and entrepreneurship in education using this IT-based education and digital entrepreneurships and so innovations and entrepreneurship, social entrepreneurship. So these all thematic maps are we classified here. And the findings. So the findings, yes, sir. Findings we are here. It is we found this innovation is the major key driving factor for these startups. So where the gap is there, the appropriate gap, they need to fill it using this appropriate tool development. particularly for this computer science related AI to whatever all that we mentioned in the tools, number of tools development, and they're launching the startups in the on time, and change management is very important. Agility is important according to the changes of this continuous evaluation and the business model. So they need to change their uh, technologies and they move to this different uh, arena for the next level of their strategy and technology modification is required. Continuously evolving the improvement is the major requirement for the IT-based startups. And the major challenges is so continuously evolving technologies are changing frequently. That time to time it is changing the new technologies. New technology comes that the previous technology is outdated. So the continuous evolving and then into capture into this new product development, it's a backbone for this startups. So limitation and scope. So this is a major limitation is this is a bibliometric analysis. So we provided the future research directions and research gaps in this paper. So, but we can go more for in this in-depth analysis for in this systematic literature review and go for this particular sector. Even this computer science sector itself, the AI based and cloud computing based and network based. So different startup analysis we can focus more on, and then customized studies possible to happen in future. So implications, this will be ready reference for this managers and startup proprietors and also the educators for where they need to go next level. So this is a guiding light for them. So these are the references. Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam. Any questions, please?
Yeah, sir. Please go to the first slide, please. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, sir. Please.
Yeah. So you are actually, sir, focusing on this bibliometric analysis,
Yes, sir.
right? Especially the entrepreneurship which is going on in the computer science.
Yes, sir.
Right. Yeah. So I would like to just know, I think I have seen this kind of the novel topic, right? Maybe this kind of the topics we can rarely see during this kind of the event, right? So what is the motivation behind this topic, and what do you think that what is the current status, and what kind of the scope is possible in this topic?
Yes, sir. Actually, one my scholars, she want to. This is for newly joined scholar. So she's a first step. She started here. So she want to explore her the PhD thesis in these areas, in this line of research. So she is also here. So you can come, or you can sit on. Please come. Okay.
Good morning, sir.
So she is Alka TA. Yeah,
Good
please.
morning. Yeah, please.
So actually in the research, I'm a social science researcher. So most of the research in entrepreneurship is deals with social science and this humanities perspective like entrepreneurship. So here what we identified means while exploring the existing literature, we can see that most of the papers that deals about the social, economic and environmental considerations, especially during the light of sustainability, none of the studies that is limiting to the subject area. So we found that the AI, robotics, blockchain, these technology trends are coming into the picture, and especially the startups, they are aiming for the rapid technological development and also the economic growth. So this computer science is playing, the discipline is playing most crucial role while looking into the startup perspective. That's why we limiting the papers and analysis of papers in the computer science discipline. So it provides more holistic, and other than the social science disciplines, provides more scientific or the existing literature means the current scope, current state of the art. That's why the another novelty that we found, sir, other than looking into the social and economic perspective, how the startups are sustaining in the technology-based ventures. So that is the motivation for this study, sir. And I'm working in the energy entrepreneurship also. So that's also helpful for my initial review of literature in the computer science domains.
sir.
Yeah, sir. Okay, fine.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we'll take up our next presenter. Our next presenter is Hardik M. Patel. Sir is going to be presenting a paper on evaluating the efficacy of generative adversarial networks in data augmentation for machine learning models. So if you're there, I request you to kindly take over the presentation, please. Sir Hardik M. Patel.
Yes, I am available, madam.
Okay, thank you. I'll just stop sharing my screen. I request you to kindly.
Just you can allow me, madam, to share my screen.
Yes, sir. You can do that, sir.
Yeah. It's visible, madam?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. Good morning, sir. My topic. One second. Okay. My topic is evaluating the efficiency of generative advantages that network in data augmentation for the machine learning model prepared by myself. Introduction, that is data augmentation, that is the pivot value for technical techniques in machine learning, that is learning for aim at enhancing the diversity of training data set to improve the model performance. Right now in such cases, that is for machine learning algorithm, a traditionally method for such rotation, flipping and scaling, that is I have to measure three basic parameters for in my research area, and I have to like consider as a GAN, that is generative advantage that neural networks, and shown the consider promises. Now I have to define that for GAN represent groundbreaking advancements in the field of machine learning. Particularly, it contains the data augmentation that is introduced by one author. It's a good fellow for in 2014, and it consists the two neural network. First is that will be the generator and discriminators. The generator aim to the synthetic data for this minimum the real kind of data that they have to consider, and for the distance that will be the for real and synthetic data, that will be the so many like quality and it may be the issues will be there. So we have to define the two techniques. First, that will be the data augmentation techniques, and second ones that will be the GAN based techniques. So for traditional data augmentation techniques, that will be the so many like parameter that we have to consider: rotation, flipping, scaling, cropping and data set. For that, my like in research area, I have to consider the three data set. That will be the MNIST. It's a modified National Institute of Standard and Technology database. Second one, that will be the CIFAR10. So it's a Canadian Institute of Advanced Research, and for CNN it's rarely uses in convolutional neural networks. And for that purpose, we have to define the GN architecture. And for GN architecture, it's basically in previously I can tell you that it's a good fellow in 2014 they have to define that, and for that purpose I have to taken so many like tables in that defined CNN base MNIST, that I have to tell one database will be there I have to taken in my research area. Second one, that is the CIFAR10, I have to taken another like database, and third one, that is the CNN base. So for that purpose I have to define like CNN base. It's in our area we have to define the GAN base augmented improvement. So in this figure you can show that comparison I have to define based on existing as well as in my research area. I have to define as I can tell you that I have to taken three database: MNIST, CIFAR and diabetes retinopathy. So for that purpose I have to taken the data set 70,000 grayscale image for hard written and split into the 60,000 training and 10,000 that will be the testing data set. Same way for the CIFAR10, I have to taken the 60,000 color image And for that purpose, I have to taken two-part division. First part, that is the training data set, and second part, that is the testing data set. So 50,000 data set that I have to taken for the training purpose, and 10,000 for taking the testing purpose. Same way, and for that purpose, I have to taken for experimental result and setup environments. As I can tell you that MNIST, then CIFAR10, and for diabetes retinopathy. So for that purpose, I have to taken three parameters models, then baseline accuracy, traditional accuracy, and GN based accuracy. For I can tell you that for these three baseline accuracy and traditional accuracy, compared to this one, for taken the three database, my accuracy will be that will be the like more accurate rather than this existing database. Now comparison of model accuracy under the each conditions. So baseline, that will be the like little bit differentiation, then traditional accuracy, that will be the little bit differentiation, and GN base. So for that purpose I have to taken three database, and it's a part of performance improvement for GN architecture. And for it's a part of summarization of the performance improvement observation in this case three case studies. So I have to taken the case study for three like different patterns. First is retail image clarification, second one for the diabetes retinopathy detections, autonomous driving object detections, and facial recognition for the securities. And for these three case study I have to taken, and for this three case study we have to define the baseline accuracy, traditional accuracy, and GN based accuracy. So for that purpose I can tell that ki 92% is for CNN, then rest of the rest and next that will be the taken, it's 87%, and deep CNN, that is the part of the like we can say about that baseline accuracy 88, then traditional accuracy, that will be the 90, and for comparison of this existing two techniques, my accuracy, that will be the 94. So it's a better than rather than existing one. For conclusion, GNN, that we have to prove that powerful tool for data augmentations for offering the significant improvement in machine learning model performance across the various applications. This review has demonstrated that GN based augmentations not only they enhance the quality of training data set, but also the part of like scattering the issue of critical domain such as medical issues. And our experiment that we have to see in previous slide, it's like more efficient rather than the existing thing. That is the number of references we have to taken for my research area. And thank you, sir. Thank you, madam. Any questions, sir?
So, Mr. Modi, sir, do we have any questions for Mr. Patel?
My voice is audible, madam?
Yes, sir, your voice is audible.
Okay.
Uh, our session chair, Dr. Kirit Modi. Sir, do you have any questions for Mr. Patel?
Rashi, I guess there might be some audio issues with Dr. Kirti, so we can move ahead with the next one.
Okay, thank you.
So my turn is completed, madam?
Yes, sir, yes, sir. Thank
Okay,
you so
so
much for
shall I?
presenting.
Okay, thank you, madam, for giving me the opportunity. So shall I left now in meeting?
No, sir, I request you to kindly stay till the end.
Okay.
Yes, thank you so much, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Now, I would like to call upon the next presenter, Manoj N. Sir will be presenting his paper on the title Improvising Healthcare Data Security Through Federated Learning and Blockchain Framework. So if you're available, I request you to kindly take over the presentation, please.
Hello.
Hello,
Is my
sir.
voice audible now?
Yes, sir, your voice is audible.
Good morning, everyone. So, I'll share my screen. Is my screen visible, ma'am?
Yes, sir, your screen is visible.
Okay. So my title is Improvising Healthcare Data Security through Federated Learning and Blockchain Framework. So coming to abstract. So in the healthcare systems, in nowadays healthcare system, it is being smarter and it is more towards the traditional, like rather than the traditional model, we are using the digital model more. So in the present models, the or the hospitals or the clinics, whatever are there, they store the patient data in a centralized server, making it vulnerable to the breaches or the misuse. So what our my research, what I have found out is that we can use the federated learning model, which can help us to make the data keep securely and not only keeping the data securely, but even the transfer of the data should be done in a secure manner. So we try to bring up the federated learning and the blockchain framework together, so it can make a proper without any security breach. So introduction. So healthcare, you can see that it is going more towards the digital manner, but the it is always present in a centralized server itself. So there may be a data breach or any misuse may happen. So in to avoid this, we are planning to bring the federated learning model, and which takes the data from the devices and keeps the patient data itself in the local model. Only the centralized server is connected with the gradients or the parameter which should be spent. So I have done literature survey. So there are many papers like the top, which five I have considered is these five. So in one paper, they have shown that the medical records are being transferred with the help of blockchain and IFPS. So IFPS provides a decentralized storage, and blockchain ensures the tamper-proof record. But here, the computational cost for the IFPS and the time and the latency will be a more issue. And coming to the next paper, federated learning is used in healthcare image analysis. So here only the image analysis is done, and no other the patient records or any blockchain is not involved here. So in another paper where we saw that the blockchain is used in the healthcare industry, but there are not authorized access, unauthorized access is present more. So to bring in that, they use more of the proof of work conscious mechanism, but we are planning to use the proof of authority, where the central authorization will be given to one person or one administration block. And one more, where they have used the federated learning model and blockchain, it is used in the post-COVID COVID healthcare monitoring itself. So here only the predefined data sets are used, but not the real-time data sets have been more of an issue. So what's the problem I am going to uh, come up here is that the federated learning model and the blockchain, we are planning to, like, the data is been sent between the central server, but only the parameters and everything. So if any transfer of the data from one hospital to another hospital, like one client to another client, there should be no the central server authorization is not required, only the peer-to-peer connection will be there. But the parameters which is to be set by the both the clients should be given by the central server. So proposed methodology is same. We are using the federated learning model combined with the blockchain for data integrity and privacy preserving machine learning, implementing the federated learning to ensure privacy and training models in distributed healthcare data set. So what I'm trying to conclude in this, that we have found out the gap that the federated the data in the medical industry is being scattered, and the security is a major issue. So there it doesn't like major of the things doesn't follow the rules which has been given by the healthcare industry, like the GDPR and the HIPAA. Looking ahead, the future work, what we are focusing that reduce the computational cost and the communication latency and the complexity of using the different approaches. So these are the references. Thank you.
Please go to your first slide.
Yes, sir. Is it visible, sir?
So you have taken the topic, that is your topic is of the presentation is healthcare data security through federated learning, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
blockchain technology. Yeah. So I would like to know, uh, why you have selected federated learning?
Yes, sir. This was a can I explain, it was a true incident which happened to me.
Okay.
So where when my brother was admitted in the hospital, so there the records whatever the was present in the previous hospital, I couldn't get at the time, or the records whichever I have been used, it was not present at me. So our future idea what we are thinking for this is, why we took the federated learning is, the federated learning, it enhances like the data whatever is present in one client, it will be present locally, it will be present and it will be trained locally. Only the parameters which has been sent by the central server through which all the distributed network is connected, only the parameters have been sent, and the data which is there, it is present locally, so it ensures the security or the data breach doesn't happen there, sir. And for the usage of blockchain, whenever the transfer of the parameters or anything is happening between the central server or the local server, there the blockchain framework acts as a layer of protection, sir.
Okay. Okay. So, as you have mentioned, federated learning, right?
Yes,
So, in
sir.
the concept, instead of just we are doing the kind of the AI ML based,
Yes,
we can say
yes,
the kind of the AI ML techniques, we do not want to only apply at the centralized level, but how we can apply it at the local level, right?
yes, sir.
How we can apply it at the local level.
I didn't get, sir.
Yeah. So what actually I know about the federated learning, it is all
Yes,
about
sir.
not we are doing this centralized based learning,
Yes,
machine
yes, sir.
learning, but ultimately how we
Yes,
can do the machine learning at the local level,
yes, sir.
right? So it is for that. So in that case,
Yes, sir.
again, we require client server model, proper architecture
Yes,
should be there in that
yes,
case,
sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
So that is one thing. Second is now you have mentioned you are applying this blockchain also.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. So now go to the main your framework.
Like framework we have decided, this is like the survey paper which we have founded, sir.
Okay. Okay. So you are just doing survey at this moment.
Yes, sir. Survey paper we
Okay.
are
So
doing
what
at
is
this
your
moment.
objective? What kind of a framework you want to develop?
Okay, sir. What kind of framework what I want to develop?
Yeah.
So I can explain from starting, sir. If any client is present, like a distributed network is there, it is connected to a central model, client server model. The parameter which is sent for the parameters which is been set for the distributed or the smaller clients, they have to follow the parameters. Based on that, they have to train the model locally, and the data will be trained there. So whenever the training happens, the parameter is sent, the blockchain is between the both client server model. And one more future idea what we are thinking is the peer-to-peer communication which should happen while transferring of the data from one client to another. Here the central model won't be having any authority. So whenever the client one requests from the client two, so whatever the data is required, it is sent to client two with the help of the ID or whatever we have created, or the patient data whichever is there, like sending the email or the OTP or the password. So there even the security blockchain will be implemented, sir.
Okay. Fine. Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Anything
sir.
else? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for
Thank
everyone.
you. Now we'll take upon for the next presentation. Our next presenter is Sabina Sehajpal, presenting on the topic leveraging big data and AI for optimizing health insurance claims and risk assessments in healthcare financing. If you're available, I request you to kindly take over the presentation, please.
Yeah, good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Let me share my screen first. The screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Okay.
Okay, can I start?
Yes, please, ma'am. I request you to kindly start.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Sabina Sehjpal from Chandigarh University, and I'm glad to be a part of this conference. Today, I'm here to present my research on leveraging big data and AI for optimizing health insurance claim and risk assessment in healthcare financing. So, the healthcare insurance play a critical role in healthcare financing. However, claims processing and risk assessment often face inefficiency and inaccuracy. So in my research, we have focused on how big data and AI can revolutionize the space by improving accuracy, reducing frauds, and enhancing decision making. So my presentation is divided into different segments. So first of all, I will go with the introduction, then follow with the literature review, methodology, data analysis, and conclusion. So talking about the significance of the study, the current out of the pocket decreases by 39.4%, and whereas the insurance penetration is approximately 41% of Indian household, at least one member covered by health insurance. Then it is also estimated that 60% of insurance company has rise with the fraud, particularly in health. So our nation is a big nation of about 1.4 billion citizens, where the large number of digital health record is to maintain it is very challenging for us. So in order to handle such a huge amount of data, it is very important for the insurer company to use AI and big data in processing the health claims with full efficiency. So whether the efficiency can be increased or not, that is the main question, and we are trying to answer in our study. So as we went through many review of literature and many studies, we identify certain variables that was very essential in order to increase the effectiveness of the policy claim. And if we can see, there is the current literature highlights the challenges and the traditional claim management, including manual processing and high fraud rates. And the study have shown that integrating AI and big data analytics can significantly streamline the operation. If I talk about my objectives, sorry, the objectives of my study is the objective is my study are these to measure the impact of AI in data accuracy, data quality, and cost efficiency claim process, then to assess the mediating fraud detection accuracy, and to examine the moderating user trust interface. So these are the research methodology which I have used for my study, that is PLS and the partial least square SEM to make the cautionary framework and data collection, then PLS algorithm to construct the reliability and validity of the data, and bootstrapping for the hypothesis testing. Here, I represent my result analysis of the data, where there are different dependent and independent variables, where data quality, AI accuracy, system usability, and cost efficiency are independent variables which are impacting the claim PE through fraud detection accuracy. That claim PE, that means claim processing accuracy. Then we have a fraud detection accuracy work as a moderator variable, whereas we also have other variable, that is user trust interface. If I talk about, so the regression coefficient from the SLM, that means 94% of, that is 0.948, that means 94% of 100 we are able to do the right prediction for claim from this efficiency, whereas we can also detect fraud detection accuracy by 47.2%. So if we talk about the reliability and validity of my model, which we have used for our research, so Cronbach value should be more than 0.75, which is already exist. Now we can check that model is reliable or not. So for that, we will check the reliability through Cronbach alpha, that is 0.75. and average variance extracted that is more than 0.5. So this is the analysis of the hypothesis testing. So in hypothesis testing, like we'll do the hypothesis testing, whatever the relationship is statistically significant or not. So we can see that the p-value is 0.05. So this is all about the reliability and validity of my, this is the data analysis for my model, and this is the hypothesis testing. So this was all about my research. So if I would say, so in conclusion, big data and AI significantly enhance health insurance claims processing and risk assessment. Implementing these technology can lead to faster, more accurate design making and improve patient outcomes. So I would definitely recommend that healthcare organization adopt AI-based analytics tool and create robust data sharing network. This was about my today's presentation. Thank you. If there is any query, please ask. Am I audible, Miss Prashi?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay, okay,
Uh,
fine.
Our session chair, Dr. Kirit Modi. Sir, do you have any questions for ma'am? Looks like there is some technical glitch.
No problem.
Uh, Thank you so much for presenting, ma'am. We'll take up on the next presenter today.
Thank you. Ma'am, can I leave the meeting or should I remain here? I have actually lecture. Like, I just
Ma'am, actually, we would like you to wait for the till the last.
okay, fine.
So if
Okay,
possible,
thank
kindly
you.
reach. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay.
I'll call upon the next presenter, Ms. Shrishtika Mahadik, presenting on the title. Oh, sorry. Ms. Shrishtika Mahadik, presenting on the title, Mantralin's A Window into the Emotional Depths of Sanskrit. If you're there, I request you to kindly take over the presentation, please.
Yeah, I'm there.
Thank you.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, now it is visible.
Okay, I'll start. Good morning, everyone. I am Srishti Mahadik, and I am very delighted to be here to present our paper, Mantralin's A Window into the Emotional Depths of Sanskrit. So, a quick introduction to my team. So, our team consists of 4 authors. Professor Prajakta Deshpande, she is professor at Cummins College of Engineering, and we 3 students, that is Divya Kasat, myself, and Rutika Oblekar, we are student at Cummins College of Engineering for Women, Pune. So, a quick agenda of what all we'll be covering into this presentation is a problem statement that I just covered up. Introduction, why we chose this problem statement, purpose, scope, objectives. What are we trying to achieve here? Literature survey stating what existing studies support our approach, abstract, classification types and data sets, what is the methodology that we used, research plan, and few references. Okay, so as we know, Sanskrit mantras hold immense spiritual, philosophical, and cultural significance. However, they are often scattered across various sources, making them difficult to access and study systematically. With the rise of modern technologies and changing lifestyle, we are slowly drifting apart from our cultural roots. Through this research, we aim to reconnect this ancient wisdom and leveraging AI-powered solutions to preserve and analyze Sanskrit text more efficiently. So, this gave us a quick background about why we chose our problem statement. So, what are we truly trying to achieve here? We'll cover here. So, our goal is to create an accurate and reliable classification system that helps organize, analyze, and interpret Sanskrit text. By doing so, we aim to improve the understanding, accessibility, and preservation of these rich spiritual compositions, which often carry profound meaning. To accomplish this task, we are going to leverage ExcelNet, a state of the art NLP model that is available from Hugging Face Transformers. Unlike traditional models, ExcelNet excels in handling complex sentence structures and context-rich text, making it an ideal choice for Sanskrit mantras classification. So, to bring this idea to life, we focused on three key steps. That is collecting and pre-processing a data set of Sanskrit mantras, implementing ExcelNet to classify the mantras into distinct categories, which are those we'll be covering forward, training and evaluating the model rigorously to ensure accuracy. By achieving these objectives, we hope to contribute to the digitalization and systematic studies of ancient Sanskrit literature, making it more accessible to the scholars, researchers, etc. So, to continue with our study, we dug up into a lot of research papers and we try to look into the existing research that led the foundation for our study. So we found few related research papers. There was a study on ExcelNet and by which demonstrated that ExcelNet excels at extracting meaningful textual features. It also showed that how it significantly is, is significant in classification accuracy and much more. So after doing a deep research about ExcelNet, this is what we found into the conclusion that um ExcelNet, we compared BERT and ExcelNet. BERT can be used for few other tasks such as summarization, whereas ExcelNet it uses permutation based training, which allows it to understand both forward and backward context. It performs better in text classification tasks compared to other traditional models. It has been proven in research to be highly effective for handling context heavy text, making it ideal for our task. So, from our research, this is what we concluded that for our task, ExcelNet was the best fit. So, to summarize our research in a nutshell, we developed an NLP-based classification system that categorizes Sanskrit mantras into three distinct categories. First is Vidur Niti, which talks about ethical wisdom. These are the mantras that emphasizes moral teachings and ethical clarity. Chanakya Niti. These are strategic wisdoms. These are the mantras that reflects pragmatic decision making and leadership strategies. The last category is the general Sanskrit shlokas, which are universal wisdom. Uh, they promote harmony, philosophy, and spiritual balances. So, how this was the data set that we had considered to go forward with our research. We have taken this data set from a reliable data source that is Kaggle. So, first of all, these are the steps that ExcelNet follows to classify the mantras. So, data collection, we have already seen that we have used data from Kaggle, then pre-processing the data, which includes tokenization, removal of stop words. This is done by is done by ExcelNet Tokenizer. So from after data collection, all of the things is handled by ExcelNet. So small things such as removal of stop words, pre-processing data cleaning is handled by ExcelNet Tokenizer. Now, ExcelNet is already been trained on a very large data set. So we just need to fine tune it with our data set. When we mean that we need to fine tune, we mean that we need to make it know what are we trying to categorize it so that it learns our label data set. For our data set, there were three important labels, that is Vidurniti, Chanakyaniti, and general Sanskrit shlokas. The another step is training the model. So in that, the model learns about the hidden patterns that are available, and so that it categorizes, it classifies very accurately. After training the model, it undergoes evaluation. Now, to understand how well the model is learned, how well the model has learned, we try to evaluate it using few metrics such as F1 score, accuracy. So after that, it is after evaluating, it undergoes few epochs where it learns with each epoch it learns better and gives higher precision. So after the XLNet working, our model is ready to classify the scene instances accurately. So these are our experimental result. It goes from
Excuse me, ma'am.
as
This is a gentle reminder. We have exceeded the 7 minutes criteria. I request you to kindly conclude your presentation.
I just need 1 minute more.
Okay.
Yeah, these are the experimental results of our study. So as we can see, the training loss has been decreased and the accuracy has been increased with each epoch. This suggests that our model is learning well. So this is the plan that we followed for our research paper. We collected our data set and we tried to process it. And we, after processing the data, the model was trained, and we evaluated the model as per the training. And yeah, these are few references that we went through for our research. And lastly, I would like to thank SMARTCOM for giving us the opportunity to present our paper to you. So thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, Srushti, please go to your first slide.
Yes. Just a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have focused on the IKS, Indian Knowledge System. I would like to say that, yeah, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so point here is that have you received the kind of the data sets properly?
Sorry, sir. I did not understand your question. Can you
No.
repeat,
Have
please?
you received, have you able to actually receive the data set
Yes,
resources?
yes. So as I stated in my presentation, we have taken a data set from a very reliable data source. You must be knowing about Kaggle.
Kaggle, yeah. So that
Yeah.
is, yeah,
So
yeah. So you have used Kaggle, right?
yes.
Yeah, so that is one thing. Second is, my point is, what exactly your objective, what you want to actually demonstrate based on your topic.
What we want to demonstrate, what are we trying to aim is just create a classifying system for Sanskrit mantras. We are aiming to bridge ancient wisdom mantras and AI technology.
Yeah, that I understood. But point is that if you are applying AI and you are doing classification, but for whom, who is the target audience?
Your target audience is students, because as we know that students are much into technologies right now.
Yes.
Yes, but the thing is we are slowly drifting apart from our roots, right? uh, we know that there is, whenever we are taught machine learning and everything in our college, in our engineering course, mostly when the teacher gives us introduction about any model, she mainly prefers that it is focused on something English. For example, classification of whether the mail is spammed or not spammed. So it is entirely focused on English. But what if we try the same models to classify Sanskrit mantras. We are just trying to see if the model will give same results or not. So, the students can learn in a better way that not only these AI models and machine learning techniques can be applied just to few linguistics, but other languages as well. For example, Sanskrit here that we are trying to focus on.
Okay, fine. Okay, so you have selected the relevant topic, right? And that's good. Yeah, so go ahead. Yeah, please.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for presenting.
Yeah.
Now we'll call upon the next presenter. Our next presenter is Panchal Twinkle Shailesh Bhai, presenting a paper on the title Shadow Rendering Mechanisms for Dynamic Daylight Conditions in Augmented Reality Applications. If you are available, I request you to please kindly take over the presentation.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay, I'm just sharing my screen now. Okay, ma'am. Is the screen visible?
Yes, ma'am, your screen is visible right now.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. I am Twinkle S. Panchal, a research scholar from Department of Computer Science, VNSGU, and my research is guided by Professor Dr. Pushpal Desai, who is a professor and dean for the Department of ICT, VNSGU. Today, I'm really very glad to be part of this conference. Thank you for giving me an opportunity. I'll be presenting paper on different shadow rendering mechanisms for dynamic daylight conditions in augmented reality applications. Okay. My research basically includes the abstract, the introduction, the related work, investigation on different shadow rendering techniques, what are the factors that influence the shadow intensity and alignment, the challenges and the future direction, and lastly, the conclusion. Let's quickly start with an abstract. The abstract includes how the shadow rendering is important in AR, that is augmented reality. What are the challenges does the daylight dynamic condition faces, such as varying sunlight intensity and direction, changing ambient light conditions, and balancing realism. Then we'll do a comparative analysis of different shadow rendering techniques. There are certain key factors which are involved in making the shadow as realistic as possible. There are some contribution and outcomes for the shadows and how it impacts the AR technology. Here, the introduction gives that accurate shadow rendering is a very crucial in AR as it enhances the depth perception and strength for the integration of virtual elements with its surrounding. Rendering shadows in outdoor AR element is challenging. Why? Because there are certain factors such as dynamic daylight conditions, which involves fluctuating sunlight intensity, varying the light directions, and changing in the ambient illumination. So the dynamic lighting requires real-time adaptations of the shadow properties, its intensity, its sharpness, and its perspective to maintain the realistic consistency and realism. There are certain shadow rendering techniques such as lightweight method called projected planar shadow, which to the high fidelity approaches such as real-time ray tracing. Here, there are certain related works for the shadow rendering in AR, where shadow mapping and cascaded shadows are the first and the basic techniques which are being applied to cast a shadow. Right? And then there came a technique called real-time sun position for shadows, which was introduced by the Hagbert and Azuma, where accurate shadows were found. The lightweight shadow method was simple, but definitely it was not as realistic as it was needed. Here, the dynamic shadow needed certain use of advanced sensors. High quality shadow rendering was powerful, but it also required the powerful devices support, whereas the hybrid approach definitely would combine the shadow mapping, the ray tracing, and the sun position for the better balance, which was introduced by Klenicher and other researchers. Moreover, shadow perceptions and human vision was also a method. One of the method that was used to enhance the human recognition shapes. Shadow rendering in multimedia and AR was also there, and this was categorized as other shadow technique in AR, which was used for artistic purposes. There are certain advanced AR display techniques that used the brightness based methods, and it turns the shadows into a colorful vision effect also. Usually the shadow is in black or a gray color, but this method gave it a different colors also. Shadow in AR and medical use, they are there for object recognition and to human sensitivity to the shadows were researched by Jonas, and he studied that how human reacts to the shadows. So here is an entire investigation for a different shadow rendering methodology where the parameters such as realism, performance, and best suitabilities are included, where we have the different methods, and according to the best suitability of your application, you can choose the method accordingly. If you are there for a very high quality shadow and a balanced performance, you can go with a hybrid shadow method where you can use combine 2 to 3 methods of shadow rendering and you can take advantages of it. Moving ahead, so here there was a first shadow rendering mechanism, that is light direction approximation. It offers high performance, but it was having a low realism. Projected planar was there, but it has a moderate realism. Shadow mapping is also there, but it needs high computational cost, so it may have a delay effect while casting a shadow. Cascaded shadow map was there to enhance realism, but it requires a significant computational resources, where real-time ray tracing was a very high realism with a soft shadow, but it demands high-end softwares. Here, dynamic shadow blending also required a high computational code, where the real-time sun position adjustment would require definitely an GPS setting with a moderate performance requirements. Here, hybrid shadow method, where you can combine 2 or more methods and realism, but it gives the high computational powers. Brightness induction, it offers the subtle shadow effects optimized for optical AR display with minimum headover. And the last, that is shadow perception in AR, will enhance the perception and spatial awareness in AR with moderate computational costs. So we'll quickly move towards the factors which influence the shadow intensity and alignment. So the first factor is the sun position and the intensity. Definitely the challenges is you should have an accurate geographic and the time data. The second factor which influence the shadow is surface geometry and texture, where the challenge is with an uneven or a textured surface where you have a mountains or a sea. Ambient light or an environmental factor, definitely it requires an accurate environmental modeling. And real-time adaptation, it requires to be accurate, or you can say trade-off between the performance and the shadow quality, where this techniques takes over the factors influencing shadow intensity. So basically the application which is developed by me faces the following challenge. The challenge is clearly depicted from the image that I have kept a virtual object in a real world environment. This is a backyard of my home where I have kept a wolf as an virtual object. Shadow has been casted using a hybrid method. But here in the last image, that where my shadow is compared with the object's shadow, where my shadow has the natural look, where the shadow has been given to the wolf is called hard shadow, where there are certain improvements required to make it more realistic. So to make it more realistic, the proposed technique is, let's calculate the position of sun first, then we'll go with the shadow direction and length calculation. Eventually we'll move to real-time shadow rendering method, where we'll go for the GPS trackings, and we'll apply the intensity, and then we'll go with the shadow blending, and finally we'll render the shadow, so that the shadow provided here as a hard shadow will be equivalent to the shadow given to the human by nature. So here, the novel technique for generating the realistic shadow in outdoor AR environment adaptive to the changes in daylight condition. This method will address to the challenge which AR faces for the outdoor augmented reality, where lighting fluctuates due to time, weather, and location. So by utilizing the sun position calculation, it adjusts to the shadow rendering based on sun's movement and user's location, ensuring the accurate shadow throughout the day. Finally, to conclude, this research addresses to the challenges of the shadow rendering mechanisms under the daylight condition. It focuses on improving the visual realism and user immersions by tackling to the light complexity. A comparative analysis were given between the different shadow rendering mechanism to choose the best according to the requirement of the application. And the future world definitely will be focusing on implementation of the proposed methodology which is discussed here, and emphasis should be placed on ensuring the seamless adoption is there is no delay in casting of shadow, and the advancement will definitely be improve the fidelity and user experience, driving in progress in outdoor augmented reality application. So here are the references which I used for my research work, and thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be the part of the conference and allowing me to present my research here. Thank you, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you have, I think you are working in the domain of the AR VR, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I would like to know what exactly you are contributing.
Sir, my contribution towards AR and VR would be like right now, there are different methods to cast the shadow to make this virtual object realistic. But the different methods uses different algorithms. And I came up with an idea to make it more realistic by using the whatever the resources we have inside the devices. We have the GPS settings, we have the date and time. So let us take that data from the device, that is your phone or your tablet, and let's include that in a method instead of using the heavy algorithms and heavy calculations. We can have the real date and time information, and we can cast shadow according to it. And here the intensity of shadow will be based on the time of day. That is, if there is early morning, there are certain intensity parameters already defined. Then if there is like a second that from 9 to 12 is there, then there should be some shadow intensity adjustments. Again, from 12 to 3 there will be hard shadow, and from 3 to 6 there will be again a soft shadow will be projected based on the intensity value. So instead of using the high computations which are provided by the methods, let's go with the resources which are already available in the devices.
So do you have this kind of the hardware resources or the setup with you?
Sir, basically this application is usually developed using Xcode and Unity game development environment. We don't need any hardware setups here. Just we need the camera and open environment where we can keep our viewpoint and we can place our virtual object. So here the wolf is the virtual object which is not in existence in the real world. Sir, it is based on the concept where the game came called Pokemon Go, where the user was just opening a camera and he was running, and as he was running he was finding some cartoonistic element. So I got an idea from that.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Now we will go for the next presentation. Our next presenter is Rohit Sundramurthy, presenting on the title Synthetic Speech Detection using MFCC and CQT with REST-to-NET architecture. If you're available, I request you to kindly take over the presentation, please.
Hello. Good morning, ma'am.
Hello.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. I'll just stop sharing and you can share your
Sure.
screen. Thank you.
Hi, madam.
Is my screen visible, ma'am?
Yes, sir, your screen is visible.
Okay.
So,
So, good morning, all. Today, we are here to present on the topic synthetic speech detection using MFCC and CQT with REST-Unit architecture, along with my other co-authors. So basically, in today's digital world, the voice authentication system is almost used in all the sensitive and personal data areas. And these systems face growing threats such as the spoofing attacks. It can be any type of attack, such as replay attack or synthesis or even voice conversion. So basically, our project is to develop an advanced voice spoofing detection system that leverages deep learning techniques, and it is exclusively for only for audio data, not for video data. Our problem statement is for voice spoofing authentication systems that are increasingly at risk from spoofing attacks such as synthesis and voice conversions. So these attacks can be easily bypassed by the traditional security measures. So there is a critical need for a more robust and reliable voice spoofing detection that can effectively differentiate between a genuine audio and a spoofed audio. So the challenge here is to develop an ML model that can accurately predict if a voice is spoofed or it is genuine. So these can be used in various use cases such as banking and financial security. So here in mobile and online banking transactions, there can be voice-based transaction where you can give your voice to authenticate any account or transactions. So the risk is that people can use a replay attack or voice synthesis. Next, coming up to the second use case is using IoT devices. Here there are voice activated IoT devices, such as if you enter a home and if there's any IoT device and that can recognize your voice and then maybe unlock the door. So even here there can is voice assistants and virtual agents. This is basically to detect commands that are given to Siri or Alexa or Google Assistant. Here, deepfake voice commands can be used to access them too. So basically, this is our system architecture. Here, initially, we have used the ASP spoof dataset, and then that dataset we undergoes pre-processing, and then using after pre-processing, we have done feature extraction using two major techniques. One is using MFCC, that is male frequency substrate coefficient, and the other one is CQT, constant Q transform. After that, the model is being trained using REST-to-NET model, and finally testing and evaluation happens. I'll be explaining each of these steps in detail in the upcoming slides. So ASV data set is 2021 data set that is used for developing an automatic speaker verification system that is for detecting voice spoofing attacks. This data set combines both, it has both genuine and spoofed data. Uh, and this is the link for the data, it is openly available. And then this is the data set. Here, the data set is partitioned into three types. One is eval, progress, and hidden. So we have used the eval and hidden for testing purpose and progress for the training purpose. And each of these three types have bona fide and spoof samples. And we have done the pre-processing. So we need an audio of fixed size, and we have decided to take the audio size of 1.5 seconds. So the audio samples had exceeding 1.5 seconds and even less than 1.5 seconds. So if it had above 1.5 seconds, we have truncated the audio size. And if it was below 1.5, we have just padded with an empty audio. Next, feature extraction. This is the third step. And here we have used MFCC. And the reason why we use MFCC is that it mimics the way how the human ears responds to different frequencies. So MFCC is very useful for capturing the natural speech patterns, such as when we humans talk, there is the tone, pitch, and formats that differentiate between each and every human voices. So MFCC is very helpful in capturing those. And when looking at through the ML model, it has 13 coefficients that are most important to capture the features of a human speech. And then along with MFCC, we have also used CQT. CQT means constant Q transform. So this is used to capture the frequencies it is used to analyze the audio signals with varying resolution across different frequencies. It also helps in providing logarithmic frequency spacing, how humans auditory system process the sound, making it very useful for capturing tonal and musical. So how is CQT different from MFCC is that MFCC main focus is on capturing short-term features, while CQT captures long-term features such as tonal and harmonic patterns. So the complementary strength of using both MFCC and CQT is that MFCC can capture overall shape of the frequency spectrum, whereas CQT is good at focusing on the harmonic content and tonal qualities of the speech. So the using both is that CQT might miss out some important features. Also, MFCC can miss out some important features. So that's why we have decided on using both the features, MFCC and CQT. Combine these, we will be training it for the model. And the model here we have used is REST-to-NET model. The advantage of using REST-to-NET model over the previous existing model is that REST-to-NET model has multi-feature extraction. So it doesn't focus on only one feature and it can focus on multiple features at a given time. So here we have used four different types basically, using 2 hidden layers and 3 hidden layers. So using 2 hidden layers, we have tried using weights and oversampling and undersampling. Even 3 hidden layers, we have tried with weights, oversampling and undersampling. Basically, we have done with oversampling and undersampling because the data set had very less genuine audio and very high spoof data. So using oversampling, we just added more genuine audio, and for undersampling, we reduced the number of spoof audio. And for weights, we use the weight function to check the accuracy. And this is the overall flow of the REST-to-NET using 2 hidden layers. Here, initially the input is given into the convolution layers, and then the input is being processed to the hidden layer 1. And here there will be 115,200 samples that are basically the number of nodes, and then it's passed to the second layer. All these 4096 and 128 are the total number of nodes, and RELU is the activation function that is being processed to the upcoming layers. After completing all the 3 layers, we'll be finally getting the output. And if there is any output, there will be back propagation happening throughout the model. And also using the 3 hidden layers, it's the same, but then the number of nodes, and there will be one extra hidden layer that is being implemented. This is the overall flow of the REST-to-NET model. Here, this is the basic idea of the REST-to-NET model, and it's very generic. Here, the input is the MFCC and CQT's output that is obtained. And here we have done a channel dimension from 3D to 4D. From that, REST-to-NET blocks have been created for MFCC and CQT. For convolution layer 1, the input obtained from MFCC and CQT samples are being given to convolution layer 1, and that output of feature map is being passed to convolution layer 2. This undergoes RELU activation function, then it undergoes max polling, and it is flattened as we have converted into 3D to 4D. Again, we convert the MFCC and CQT output features to 1D and combine both MFCC and CQT. And this finally goes to the final layer 1 and again undergoes an activation function. And finally, it does the binary classification, stating whether it is spoofed or genuine, or so basically with zeros and ones. And finally, we get the output. This is the overall working of the REST-to-NET model. Sorry. So this is the basic graph, amplitude and time graph, to identify whether the audio is real or spoofed audio. From the graph, we can see that the left side audio is the genuine audio, it's the real audio, and the right side one is the spoofed one. In the real audio, the curves are not very pointed and they have proper curves, whereas in spoof audio, all the edges are very sharp. So we can see that in the left hand side, the curves are very smooth, and this indicates the real audio. Whereas in the right hand side, the curves are very sharp, and this will be the spoof data. So this can be useful for like humanly identifying whether a audio is spoofed or real. And this is the graph for MFCC. Here, the one at the top represent the real audio with the MFCC features. And here there will be 13 coefficients, as I told in the initial slide. It will be capturing, and there will be 13 rows. So here we have used the temperature graph.
Excuse
It
me, sir.
indicates the, yes, ma'am.
We have completed the 7-minute criteria. I
Yes,
request
ma'am.
you
I'll
to
just
kindly
finish it soon.
conclude as soon as possible.
Yes, okay. And then below we have the spoof data. But this is basically for the model's identification. And for the REST-to-NET, for the CQT also, we have used the same temperature graph. Finally, we have used the 3 matrices: precision, recall, FN score, EER, and TDCF. This is the basic evaluation matrix that we usually check in a model. So using all the results using precision, recall, and FN score, we have come to a conclusion that our accuracy would be around 98.56% using the confusion matrix, and the best is obtained using 2 hidden layers and using weights. So our future work would be adding lip synchronization and enhancing the accuracy much more And we also look forward to explore cybersecurity applications over the same. And these are the few references that we have used. Thank you.
Thank
Hello.
you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Our session chair, sir, do you have any questions for sir? Looks like there's some glitch. Um, Thank you so much for presenting, sir. We'd like take up the next participant.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next presenter is Martin Morley, presenting on the paper titled The Role of Artificial Intelligence in Shaping Consumer Preferences and Behavior in Smart Home Environments. If you're available, I request you to kindly take up your presentation, please.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Is my screen visible?
Yes, yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. I'll be presenting on the role of artificial intelligence in shaping consumer preferences and behavior in smart home environments. And my co-authors are Dr. Tipa Sharma, Dr. Pankaj Kumar Naware, and Chetan Parika. So to start, these are my table of contents. We have introduction, methodology, literature review, consumer decision making, influence of AI, AI and consumer behavior insertion, ethical consideration, future trends, and conclusion. So the introduction part talk about the advancement of AI processing quickly. It have led the transformation in various aspects in everyday life, particularly in how consumers make decisions within smart homes. And understanding this can impact technology. Using these technologies on consumer choices are essential, especially households and other use of the equipped devices in AI capabilities. And this research dives into the connection between artificial intelligence and consumer behavior, examining how AI-powered functionalities such as automated system and tailored recommendations shape consumer preferences and buying behavior. So the methodology aspect talk about the use of secondary data. This particular research is based on secondary data. It helped me to enhance quickly in the research and find more findings on this particular use of smart home devices. So literature reviews talk about in the first 20th century, especially electricity and lighting system were adapted. The first primary things that were used was switches and hand switches and timers. So consistent innovation and fast move sophisticated technology help smart homes automation evolve. From its modest beginnings, the event of smart home has transformed our relationship with our living environment, offering comfort and convenience that were just impossible at one time. So the use of these IoT technologies in smart homes has evolved uh, quickly after the 20th century. So home appliances supporting the Internet of Things, for instance, can send message information and status back to necessary control systems. And here we see consumer decision making. Making consumer decision is a complicated process affected by several different elements. Consumer choices reflect all the complex mental and social processes people go through in choosing, paying, and using, disposing goods, experiences, or ideas to satisfy their needs or wants. So consumer decision making is a dynamic process that affects many range of factors, including situational setting, marketing messages, social norms, individual values, such as societal influences, marketing tactics, and personal preferences. So businesses are able to alter their plans if they are aware of requirements and preferences of the targeted market segment. And also, businesses can also study the behavior. It identifies things that are trending in the market, like products and services that are trending in the market that create and enhances the happiness of loyal customers in a long time. So influence of consumer preferences on influence of AI on consumer preferences, choices, and buying behavior. Artificial intelligence have revolutionized customer interaction in digital marketing, especially the focus on data and not human intuition. This particular AI focus on data, especially data that have been posted on internet and some artificial intelligence platforms, not on human thinking. So this is the reason why profiles created by artificial intelligence or human processes of data-driven marketing create mission stances that impact the polarized, meaningful consumer behavior. In high pursuit situation, AI is fast transforming into a crucial marketing utility. Data provided by customer relationship managers around behavior and preferences have revolutionized AI strategy planning. So these are the inferences. We have personalized content and suggestion, better purchasing context, persuasion and encouraging behavior, impact on behavior after purchase. So we'll see personalized content and suggestion. AI have the ability to suggest what the customer need, especially sending personalized messages to customers, emails, and other things on their purchase, on their previous purchase that they have done, and also the browsing history, and as well as their social connection with the social media in order to tailor their smart home devices. And it also, in this regard, it also personalized influences consumer behaviors, consumer decision by showing product with the possibility of exactly meeting individual consumer needs, preferences, and lifestyle. And talking about the better purchasing context, data assistant, digital assistant like Google Assistant, Alexa, from Amazon are the center of the smart home ecosystem. These technologies are responsible for users' inquiries about products and specify historical uses of to facilitate decision making and guide customer toward a particular situation. So here we have the persuasion and encouragement, encouraging behavior. Behavioral guidance, small recommendation or hints that increase the likelihood of certain behavior are helpful in noting customer behavior through AI system. So sometimes consumers have some like they have some doubt on particular product that they want to buy, but they don't actually have idea about it. But AI can help them. AI can recommend certain product for them to buy automatically. It can display on their screen and they can make the decision quickly. So impact on behavior after purchase, product integration and usage. Artificial intelligence can suggest the use of smart home products in a post-purchase manner, telling the user how devices can be connected or instructing them to optimize their functioning abilities. So AI and consumer behavior. technologies like artificial neural networks are among the most creative modern approaches supporting the junction of artificial intelligence and consumer behavior, since they significantly affect consumers' decision-making process. So this particular technology help the customer or the consumer to make a quick decision. This particular network elaborates on the connectionist models concerning the details of customers' purchase decision process. And researchers have better understand how it affects such customer decision through the use of connectionist architectures. And they also have the lengthy behavioral perspective model and theoretical framework. So ethical consideration. One of the greatest ethical consideration that this technology or those people who are using AI is privacy and security issues. It have brought about by the application of AI and tracking and analyzing customer behaviors. Another one is that fairness and bias. If AI models reinforce unintentional prejudice, which result in some groups of customers or consumers being unfairly targeted or excluded, it can also damage the brand's reputation.
Excuse me, sir. You've
Yes.
exceeded the 7-minute criteria. I request you to kindly conclude the presentation as soon as possible, please.
Okay, so in conclusion, this research identified the consumer decision to be made in smart home environment where predominantly driven. So secondary data was used to show the AI generated decision influence consumer desires and needs and behavior. And technologies, these technologies evolve, and AI integration in smart home is expected to grow and allow the more sophisticated customers experiences delivered to homeowners. Thank you. These are my references.
Thank you, sir. Our session chair, do you have any questions for sir? Okay. So we'll take up for the next presentation. Thank you so much for presenting, Mr. Mole. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I think now presentations are over, right?
Yes, so we have one last presenter. If 1 second, so I'll just call up the last presenter.
Okay.
Payal Khode, presenting on the title, The Use of AI in Technology for Optimization of Online ID Card Generating Systems for Schools. If you're available, I request you to kindly take over the presentation, please. Looks like ma'am is not available. We'll just end our session. Okay. I sincerely thank our authors. I sincerely thank our authors for their excellent presentations and contribution in this session. All our participants for being a part of this international conference. I hope this session was informative enough. We, on behalf of the whole team, thank you for the support during this 9th version and all the previous 8 versions of this conference. We will be happy to have you in the 10th version in 2026. All the presenters would be getting their digital certificates through email within 2 working days. Further, all the papers have already been forwarded to the springers. The publication will be live within 6 months. kindly cooperate with this theme of SmartCom 2025. Uh, we would also like to thank our session chair, Dr. Keith J. Modi, for chairing the session. A token of appreciation to the chair on behalf of our team, SmartCom 2025 and Global Knowledge Research Foundation and partners. Thank you for your valuable presence, sir. Do you wish to make any remarks for the presenters today?
So I would like to share that all the participants, they have actually presented the work on the recent topics, and some of the topics were really novel and interesting. And I hope that in next time when even they participate again, so they come with the further improvements, and even they can showcase the kind of the results in such a way that the other can motivate and they can even plan to work on the presented topic. So again, I would like to congratulate to all of the authors who presented their work, and I have found the work is really satisfactory, and they have put the very good efforts to present the work. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, I request all of you all to kindly switch on your cameras for a quick snapshot of this virtual conference. Requesting all to kindly switch on their cameras, please. Thank you so much. Now I request you all to kindly log out. Thank you so much for presenting. We'll meet you in this next session in 2026. Thank you so much. Have a great day all.